How's it going, Ding Dong? Welcome back to Ding Dong Drift. As you know, I love 3D scanners. I use them all the time for all my projects. Use the scanner to make my whole wide body, use the scanner to make my whole bumper that is currently off, use it to make those headlights, used it for literally, I use 3D scanners every single week, every day, all the time, for absolutely everything. My favorite 3D scanner is the Shining 3D Einstar. This is it right here. If you know anything about scanners, or if you don't, they need a power supply plugged into the wall, and they need a laptop, which is kind of limiting. So you need to either have a 12-volt power supply and a laptop with a really good battery to be able to scan, say, outside or somewhere where you don't have power, or you need a really long extension cable. Luckily, Shining 3D has got us covered with this. Well, this is just the case, but let me show you what's inside. So it's a very similar case to the original Einstar, but what is inside is very, very different. I have not opened this yet. I have not looked at it yet. But there it is. No power supply. All we have is this. Basically a phone-sized 3D scanner that is completely standalone. So let's just open this up and see how it looks inside. So it's got a very nice tripod. Wow, that is an extremely nice tripod. That is all metal, USB-C, nice. It's got nice fabric on it. And the main attraction is the Einstar Vega itself. There it is. I gotta figure out how to turn it on. Okay, so there's the on button. Let's hold that. Boom. So obviously it's touchscreen. It's literally just basically a phone. It's even got the same size screen as a phone. The resolution seems to be just as high as a phone. It's just a lot bulkier than a phone, which makes sense because you want to have this thing have a giant battery. I don't know the exact specs on the battery or what's going on, but you can look that up on the website. We're just interested in how this thing scans. So I'm gonna get this all set up. I'm probably gonna have to log in, do some updates, and we're gonna just go ahead and scan everything we can think of. All right, so I got the scanner all updated, calibrated. I think it's ready to go. In this video, we're gonna go scan anything, anywhere, and then maybe I'll scan something on the car. We'll see how it does on that. A long time ago, I designed these tool holders for my power tools to be hung on a pegboard, or you could use screw holes as well. I wanted to make them for my new tools because I have, I have a new impact, I have this guy, I have so many tools that are just stuffed in there, and honestly, I was always too lazy to just set up and scan everything, but I think this will be the perfect tool, the perfect scanner to do this project. So turntable, scanner, let's do some scanning. All right, so how is this scanner different from say the Einstar or other scanners? Well, if we look, the scanner has two different modes. It has HD mode and fast mode. So as you see right now in HD mode, it's not able to see the drill until I get much closer to it. Whereas if I go into fast mode, it's going to switch, and now it can see the drill and the car from pretty far away. It's a pretty large distance. And the distance can also be adjusted, so you can have the depth of field that you want to use. So we can go all the way to 1500 millimeters, which is gigantic. I think the Einstar is only, don't quote me on this, I think it's 800 millimeters. So obviously we're going to be scanning the drill. So we're going to put it in HD mode because we want the highest resolution up close. Let's see how it works. I'm just going to hold it in front of the camera here. I'm going to hit scan. And we're just going to start scanning. So it says we're too far. So that is pretty close. But as you can see, the performance pretty fast. It's scanning currently at 13 frames per second, and the resolution seems to be really good. We're losing a little bit of tracking here, but it regains it no problem. I'm gonna try to turn it this way. So I really wanna scan the handle, because that's where we need it to fit into the holder. No crazy issues of it losing tracking. I'm just not used to having it this close to objects. I've never had a scanner that gets this close to the object. But it does seem to work better when you're closer rather than too far away. All right, I think we're good. So let's take a look at the scan. So this is obviously just the point cloud data, so it's not going to be the full resolution build. So you've got a lot of data. I mean, this is more than we need to make a holder. The holder just needs to fit the bulk. All right, so I'm gonna hit the check mark. You can see you can either delete the scan or continue scanning, or you can save it. So we're gonna save it. Okay, that was fast. At this point, you can also clean up the model. It's hard to film touchscreen stuff because my hand gets in the way of the camera. But you can see now, you can move it around, and then, so you move it around with 2 fingers, and then you draw with 1 finger. Select stuff if you want to, like I don't want this. I don't need that. I'm gonna delete it. And then you can also use a lasso if you want to select something like that. If you want to draw around stuff, super easy. Everything's on the scanner itself. So we're done with that. We're gonna mesh it, and we want the resolution to be, so it's currently 2/10, so we can go down to 1/10 of a millimeter. Honestly, I don't need that high. I'm gonna do 4/10 of a millimeter. I do a little bit of mesh smoothing so we don't have any jagged edges. And that's it. Now it's gonna mesh the model itself. Oh, that was surprisingly fast. So yeah, look, we got good detail. The whole text shows up. I mean, this is pretty incredible detail for how fast that scan was. So this whole process of scanning this entire drill took about 6 or 7 minutes, and no laptop involved, nothing. Hit complete, and then it's connected to my Wi-Fi, so I can literally just save the file. Well, it's gonna save everything locally because this has a 512 gig solid state drive, and then I can go in the model library and can open up the model, and I can upload it to my account and then go on the computer, and it's going to be there in the cloud. So once it's there in the cloud, I can go download it on my computer and start modeling whatever I need to do. So let's go scan something else. So as you can see, I've now done 7 scans of my tools. I have a few more I'm gonna do, and you can see I still have 41% battery left, so pretty decent battery life. The thing about the battery life is the charger this thing comes with charges so insanely fast that the battery life is kind of honestly a non-issue. And then if you're at a museum or whatever and you want to be scanning a bunch of stuff constantly, you can bring a little power brick and then just have this thing plugged in the whole time, and you could have basically a gigantic battery bank. So this thing will never run out of battery. So you've seen me scan a bunch of stuff with this scanner now, and I think I have figured out who this scanner is for. I don't know. It's hard to say because the HD mode is awesome. I think it would work great for scanning small parts. Like if you want to make small little interior bits, engine parts, small stuff, HD mode works great. Works better than the Einstar. That's the main drawback of the original Einstar. It cannot do small parts. If you're scanning a whole engine, it's fine. If you're scanning an entire engine bay, it's fine. If you're scanning a whole car, it's also fine. But if you want to scan a small part, you can't. You have to set up a whole table of parts and scan all of them at once. And the detail's not that great. The detail is fine, but sometimes it's not as good as I'd like it to be. For example, side markers. I don't scan side markers with my Einstar because it's not detailed enough. But this is in HD mode. But in fast mode, it can scan a larger area than the Einstar, but the detail is very low compared to the Einstar. Like the detail on a large object with the original Einstar is very high. Below, it's sub-millimeter. This is multiple millimeter detail. I think the best thing to try now, scan a car. So I'm gonna remove the bumper on the SC because I have to scan some stuff here for the rear bumper that I'm designing. And we're gonna do a scan with both of them. We're gonna do a fast mode scan with the Vega, and we're gonna do a regular scan with the Einstar, and we'll see how they compare, and then you can make the judgment whether you think this is good enough for car stuff or not. Because I mean, let's just do a scan of the car and we'll see what happens. All right, so the scan with the Vega is done. While that's processing on the Vega, I have to set up my laptop, plug everything in on the Einstar, and get ready to scan. So I'm waiting for the Einstar software to turn on, and as you can see, the Vega is almost done. It tends to jump from around like 70% to 100 pretty quickly. All right, so the project on the Einstar software EXstar is set up, ready to scan, and the Vega is at 95%, so it should just finish up right now. And there it is. We have the rear scan of the SC. So I'll show this on the screen better, not in the sunlight. I'll compare the two scans in the software, in my modeling software, so we could actually see how they look. So I'm just gonna save this and let's do the Einstar scan now. So another thing, if you're scanning outdoors, my laptop screen is a lot less bright than the screen on the Vega. So it is harder to see what I'm scanning. And as you can see, I have to hold the Einstar much closer, which is what gives it probably better detail, but it also means I'm scanning much slower. If you're doing something that doesn't need a lot of detail, then that might be an issue for you. I love the Einstar. It is honestly incredible. For the price, you cannot get a better scanner for the price. If you have a laptop, that's the thing. I did not have this laptop before. I literally bought it only for scanning. There's no other, I don't use that laptop for anything at all. And here's another thing about Vega. I can't see what I'm scanning anymore. Don't have good vision. I can't see the screen on the laptop anymore. So I'm kind of just guessing, looking at the general area. And then also here, sunlight is starting to interfere with the Einstar, whereas the Vega was able to handle sunlight scanning pretty well. It didn't have any issues with tracking. I'm starting to have issues with tracking right now on the Einstar. It's weird calling it the Einstar because that one is also the Einstar, but it's the Einstar Vega. I hope you guys understand the difference. That's the Vega, and currently I'm using the original Einstar. Thin things are very hard to scan, especially when they're pointing away from you, hard to get a good angle on them. So obviously I didn't do this with the Vega, so we're gonna ignore this data because I'm spending more time with the scan than I did with the Vega. The Vega was very fast, and the Einstar, I'm spending a lot more time on the scan. So I guess this is an unfair comparison, but all right, that's good enough. All right, finally finished, there we go. So let's see. But I don't know if that detail is, well, I guess it's just all the dust. It's super dirty. Yeah, it's super dusty. So that's just all the little dust. All right, so now that we have both scans, let's go inside, take a look at the models and compare the two. And then I'll give my final thoughts. All right, so I got both models, both scans loaded up in Maya. Here's a sneak peek of the rear end that I'll be making in the future. So yeah, SC's getting a bit of an overhaul. But yeah. So we have both scans. Can you tell which one is which scanner? I'll give you a second. I'll zoom in, take a look around. Which scanner do you think did which scan? All right, ready? Here they are. Pretty hard to tell, but as you can see, the Vega kind of did a better job. There's none of this data missing here, like we have on the Einstar. There's none of this data missing here. And I think that's mostly because of the sunlight. Yeah, the Vega is just a lot better at scanning with sunlight present. And I think that's why the Einstar didn't pick it up. However, if we look close, the Einstar scan is a bit more detailed. However, I did spend more time scanning these brackets, remember? And the dust and rough texture of the model, you can see there's the little pinch welds. You can see all that stuff a lot better. Whereas on the Vega, it's more of a blur. You don't get that detail. However, if you're designing body panels, like I am, honestly, that stuff doesn't matter. I don't know, it's hard to tell which scanner I like better. I do like the clean look of the Einstar, the cleanliness, the higher detail. But man, just the speed and ease of use of the Vega is so much better. All right, so final verdicts. Who is this scanner for? I think I have it figured out finally. So let me try to explain. If you don't have a powerful laptop with an NVIDIA GPU, which you need for the Einstar, then this scanner is perfect for you. If you only have a desktop or an iPad and you do all your modeling, or maybe you do artwork on like an iPad or a desktop that you can't bring out into like the garage or whatever, this is the absolutely perfect scanner for you. If you're an artist and you want to scan real life things to implement into your artwork, if you want to scan trees, or you want to scan things at museums, or you want to like anything out in the world where you just need to pull out a device, not have any setup involved, nothing. If you just want to scan the whole world, this scanner is for you. You could scan big, you can scan small, you can scan almost anything with the scanner. I really think this scanner can be useful for absolutely everyone. Even if you have a laptop like me, even if you have the Einstar already, I still think this scanner is a good purchase for literally anyone. I'm going to continue using this scanner instead of my Einstar until I have to send it back. Simply not having to plug in a laptop, plug in the power brick for the Einstar, have a bunch of wires dangling everywhere, carrying the laptop around, just that aspect of it outweighs the higher cost of this scanner. I think I have a bias towards the Einstar because I've used it for so long. I've had it for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. I've had no issues with it. And Shining 3D is so good with updates. They're constantly updating it, the software, everything. It's gotten so much better since the beginning. Even this scanner, in the week that I've had it, has gotten so much better just from 3 updates. Those are my final thoughts, basically. If you want super easy scanning of absolutely anything, get the scanner. If you have a powerful laptop and you want to save some money, get the Einstar. I don't know, man. It's hard. This is such a hard, it's not even a decision, it's just a recommendation, you know? Like, I'm just giving my opinion. But yeah, this is a great scanner. I'm really impressed with it. It works. There's no bugs that I saw. Nothing. The upload process, I didn't even show it, but I guess I could show it now. I didn't even show the whole upload process. So say you do your scan, you know, we're scanning, blah, blah, blah. That's an incredible scan. Okay. Finish the scan. We save it, mesh it, use the recommended settings. Mesh is done. Press complete. And then we save it. Or you saw the share button. I could have just shared it right there on the spot, but I'm going to save it to the device first. And then you can go to your model library, open the scan, press the share button, and you can make folders. And you can see, I don't know if you could see that, all Vega owners receive 5 free gigabytes of storage on the cloud. So then you just hit upload. It uploads to their cloud service, and then you can scan the QR code with your phone to see the model on your phone, or you can go on your desktop or computer or whatever you use to modify your files, print them or do whatever, and you can do it that way. Super easy. You saw even just right there, I scanned the fender, the whole front, whatever. That took minutes. That took like 3 minutes. The whole process, that was all real time. all the processing, upload everything. I now have the file in minutes on my computer. It's insane. It's actually insane how fast you can work with this. I guess that's gonna be it for this video, ding dongs. Let me know what you guys think. Do you still prefer higher resolution of the original Einstar? Or are you thinking about picking up the Vega? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's any other questions you have about the Vega. I will have it for a couple more weeks. It is gonna be used in a couple more videos, hopefully. Like you saw, redesigning the whole entire rear of the car. I'm not gonna be building that until probably spring because I have a lot of performance modifications that I wanna do to the car. So the car's getting a complete overhaul this winter. We're gonna do one more driving video. My brother's gonna drive the car. I'm gonna film it from, yeah. Thank you so much to Shining 3D for sending over the scanner. If you guys wanna check out their scanners, I have a link in the description. Check them out. If you wish to support the channel directly, check out the Patreon. That's also in the description. Got many perks, many different tiers that you can sign up to. But yeah, that's gonna be it, ding dongs. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, stay sweet, and I'll see you guys next week.
America, America. Do you have your passport?